Hello, hello. Got it. Okay. Ooh, sup? Sup, guys? Try this again. More. Stream. Okay. Attempt number 3, ladies and gentlemen. For the third time, I'm going to try and do the same video. It is driving me crazy. But, hey, I'm doing it for you because I want you to learn something. So, here we go. I will find my center of peace and balance. Here we go. So, what did we do? We did this. Good. Okay. So last time we draw this crocodile. I put like the legs on it. I got rid of the legs because I want to continue showing you things that are important on how to draw. Okay. So we continue. I went ahead in the last video and brought it to, let's say, this point over here, where I also add like a little bit of light to it, right? So I am going to demonstrate super quickly how to make anything that you draw look super nice. So let's do that. Hoppa. Get rid of this crocodile face, get rid of this crocodile face, and then I can do this again. Okay, here we go. So, if you want to draw anything in the world, and you want it to look nice, then what you can do is you can add line weight to your drawing. Line weight is super important because line weight makes your drawing look good, right? It's super simple. Your brain is very easily bored. If somebody tells you a story and there's not a lot of information, you are very quickly going to tune out, right? If I say to you, I went surfing yesterday, the waves were high, it was fun, I went fast, then you say, okay, sure, interesting, right? If I say to you, man, I got up super early in the morning because I was so excited because I knew there was going to be really good waves, it said in the report. So I got there super early in the morning and then the sunlight was like really low and the water was like glass. It was so nice. And then I jumped in and then I saw like all the ripples on the water and then like I was sitting there and then this set came. Man, they were the biggest waves I've ever seen. I jumped on one, I missed the first one, the second one, I got it. I went so fast, I've never been so fast. You're entertained. Why are you entertained? Because I'm keeping your brain occupied with something, right? And that is what you should try and achieve when you make a drawing or an artwork too. And it is really simple to do, right? So this drawing is a piece of wood. It is boring. It's boring. It's correct, but it's boring. Why is it boring? It is only showing me one type of line. Boring, right? So what do you want to do? Well, you want to add this. You want to add something called line weight. Look, line weight. Essentially, that means this. The sun is shining from up high, or normally a light source always comes from up high, right? Most of the time. That means if we add some weight to our lines, we can do this. We can say lines on the bottom are thick. Why? They don't get a lot of light. Lines on the sides should also be thick because they capture the basic form. Lines on the top can go a little bit lighter if you want, right? Lines on the inside, these guys are there to help you understand what's happening inside. Those should be thin, always. You can do variations of thinness, but they should be a little bit thin, right? They're support lines, help lines. Look, I've done it over here. See, I have my thick lines on the bottom. Oops. I have my little bit thick on the sides. I have thin on the top, and the inside lines are nice and thin. And because I'm using this system of line weight, it looks good, right? And it is very simple to do. See? Okay. So I have to recreate this for you. Oop, otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Look over here. I'm going to draw for you a potato. Look, this is a potato. Now I want you to see this as something that has some volume to it. So that means I have to convince you that it is probably doing something like this, right? That is sort of what I want you to see, something like this, right? So I have to convince you that that is happening, right? Now I can do that very easily. Look, if I add a little bit of line weight, I say, okay, bottom is a little bit thicker, and then I go to a little bit more thin, like this maybe. Look, already it feels a lot more heavy on the top. Now look what I can do. I can do inside lines thin. Here, look, I just do like maybe 1 or 2 or 3, like this, right? I'm going to erase most of these lines, but I'm going to leave a couple of little pieces. Here we go. This one can go away. Yeah. Actually, I'm just going to leave only maybe here. Put a couple more here. This is probably enough for you to start to accept that this is something that feels a little bit rounded. Agree? Does it feel like it's a little bit rounded? I think so. I think this feels a little bit rounded, right? With just a couple of tiny basic marks, I'm trying to convince you that it's going a little bit more, maybe put like a little bit more dark here, just here, a little bit. Yeah. Look, feel nice and round. That was not difficult, right? So line weight is key. Same here. Look, lines on the bottom can go a little bit thicker. So maybe this is the bottom. Here, lines on the top a little bit thick. Here, put like some little tiny marks here and there. You can tell a whole story just with like some variation in line. Super simple, right? Okay. I'll demonstrate on the crocodile. Look, crocodile, where are you? Here. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to start off doing this. I do my lines thin, like this. Here. Whoop. Nice and thin. Then I'm going to add my line weight, and you can see what I'm doing, how it works. It's going to be my crocodile. This, yeah. To turn. Maybe a bit more round, whatever. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Cool. Enough. Here. This is what I have, right? It is super basic. There's not a lot of stuff going on. Let me get rid of this, because this one you should not see already. Okay, so this have just outlines. It doesn't have any volume, right? So let's add line weight. This is a bottom line here. Look, this is the bottom, so it needs to be a little bit more thick. See? Nice. Above the eye is a bottom line, needs to be a little bit more thick. And the bottom of the jawline here, look, this needs to be thick. Yeah, see? Thick. If there is a nostril, then the bottom of the nostril needs to be thicker, right? This is a top line. So basically, this is outside, outside. Okay. So you can see already it starts to start to read a little bit like it has some volume, right? So what I want you to see in this drawing is this. I want you to see this. I want this to go here. I want this to go down. I want this to go here. This to go down. Go here. I want this to go here. 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 I want this to go like this. This is what I'm trying to achieve, right? I'm trying to make it look like this is happening, right? Like this. This is sort of what I would like you to see, right? That's what I want. But I'll turn it super low so you can hardly see it, right? But that is what I want you to see. So I can do that. Look, I'm just gonna add here and there in my crocodile some lines that support this idea, right? So I want this to be a double line because that's gonna give him some thickness for his jawbone. Because if I leave it a single line, his jawbone is going to be so thin, right? That already gives me a little bit of volume, right? Then I'm going to go and add like maybe something that goes like a little bit in, something over here, maybe like this. Then I'm going to do a little bit this, see? I'm going to break my line up like this. And that's going to give me, or give you, some information that this is not one solid line, but it's sort of breaking up into several pieces. That's going to give me some nice volume. See, that's already going to help a lot. And I'm going to go do the same in the bottom a little bit, maybe. Whoop. Maybe a little bit more this way. Oops. So by breaking these lines up a little bit, I can give it a lot more character. See? Whoa, this is a giant bone, so I shouldn't do it here. This really is one massive piece of bone here. I know that is something I do know for real. If you know a little bit about the anatomy or the inside of an animal or human, it's make your life a lot easier, right? Okay, yeah. So, suggesting some scratches, whoops, putting on like maybe some like scales, adding some more scratches, making you sort of think about those directions. Oops, getting rid of this so you can see what I actually am doing. But in my back of my mind, keeping that it needs to sort of follow this principle. See, this is like the tongue, can go like a little bit thick here, can have a little line over here, maybe like this. Do this to it, so it all comes together maybe. Here. I can just keep on going, keep on trying to give you more and more information. See, it's just little dots, and scratches and things. That's all I'm doing. Really not doing anything else. Like here, it's like where his big like scales will start. But that is it, right? I'm just keeping your brain entertained. I'm giving it the right amount of information because an area should never be empty, because if it's totally empty, it's not partaking in our drawing, it's not doing anything, right? So you just got to keep on going, add some things to it. Sometimes it needs just a little dot is enough. Sometimes you just keep on going until you feel satisfied, right? Okay. But look, these teeth are really flat. You add like one little line, and then look, automatically you don't need to do anything. It just starts to read that's going like more, you know, volume. Super simple. Drawing is really not difficult once you understand some basic rules. And that is what I'm trying to teach you. Then you can just keep on going backwards and forwards, trying to make things work, you know. It's super duper fun, I think. And the longer you do it, here you can make it darker maybe, because it's like coming from a really dark area, right? Like it must be dark there because there's probably not a lot of light, because all of this is going to be in the shadow of the jaw. Like it's inside the mouth, it's going to be pretty dark in there, but more of that later. Okay, you can make this a little bit darker maybe. You can also do this with color. The last version I put like some color in because it makes sense, right? You can say, okay, there's 3 different angles. That also means there's going to be 3 different angles to my crocodile. So I'll just do it super quick. Then I'll check if my recording works. If the sound works. If the sound doesn't work, then I'm going to call it a day. And then you just have to only watch the videos, 2 videos you watched before here, because this is the 3rd time I'm doing this. Oops. Yeah. It's okay. It's practice, but then I feel like I definitely give it my best effort. Okay, so this one is all green. This one I consider to be my mid-tone. My mid-tone is my basic color. That's number 2 is mid-tone. Then I'm going to make a darker color. That's this one. Actually, that's more like here maybe. Let's find out. It's going to take some adjusting. That's going to be my core shadow. Oop. And then I'm going to make a lighter color. That's going to be my highlight. Okay, easy. Here we go. The mid-tone we already have. So I'm going to grab a darker color. I'm thinking about it. The darker side is the right side. Okay, so what is all on the right side? Well, this is going to be on the right side. This is going to be in the dark. All of this side part here of the jaw is going to be dark, 100%, right? Have to be. That needs to be all dark. Oh, escape. Go back, do a new layer. Oop, make a mistake, sorry. Okay. So 100%, all of this is going to be in the dark. The side of this thing is going to be in the dark. All of this on the side over here is going to be in the dark. Basically, this whole jaw is going to be in the dark over here. The darker side of my object, right? Must be. So all of this area is going to have to be darker, right? Here we go. Darker. Here we can do maybe a little bit of dark where it sort of like comes together. We can do a little bit of dark over here. We can put a little bit here, maybe like this, right? So essentially we already have done maybe here a little bit. Maybe also a couple of spots. That always helps, you know, if you put like some broken up things in there, it's just going to create a little bit more interest than if these lines are completely straight. You can also just, I'm happy with these 2 together, it works. You can also just kind of work them back together again a little bit. You can do a little bit more light and make it feel a little bit more interesting, maybe a little bit on the top of the jaw here, maybe. So we just work them in a little bit. So working them in backwards and forwards is always good. We're going to go 2 directions, right? Okay. So then let's find like a lighter color to put on top. So this is like really the lightest area of my crocodile. That's really going to be on top. Now I know this is way too bright, so I'm going to fix that in a second. I'll fix it now. Turn it like a little bit more dark, yeah, maybe there. Let's say there. Yeah, whatever. I'll do it like this. So I put like some light. Oh, gotta copy the color. put like a little bit of lighter on the top. Oops. There we go. Maybe a little bit here. That's always nice when they're together. Oop. But you can start to see already it's starting to get a lot of volume. And it's very simple for me to do that. And it's also going to be very simple for you to do that because you know you're drawing things three-dimensional. So you know your object's going to have three different sides. And you have to, while you're drawing, you're thinking about what are my three different sides the whole time. So that is what you're trying to achieve. That really is the key to drawing, right? And then if you can draw something, then you can also paint something, because then you can say, okay, well, I have these things together now, look. Then you can start to like blend the colors a little bit together like this. Then you can say, okay, well, I'm painting, so I'm gonna make it like a lot more dark here in the bottom, for example. Because if you're truly painting, then you don't want to use any more, lines, because you just want to use different types of colors or values of colors, because it's going to make it better. Oop. Because you cannot rely on line work anymore then. But look, you can blend those in. Oops. Oop. Then it will start to slowly look a little bit like a painting. Oops. And then there's like lots of more things that I can teach you, right? And I will. Okay. So blend all of this a little bit together. Okay. So now we just have like a little bit of colors. Can do a lot more with that. But look, put some more dark in the bottom. Oftentimes in the beginning, when people start to draw and not paint, then they really have really heavy dark shadows in the bottom of their things. And that is okay, because it's going to look good. But then you have to add something to it to really make it work. I'll show you what I mean here in a second. Oops, I'm blending all of this stuff together. Oops. This maybe, see? It's starting to get like really dark in the bottom. So you say, oh my Lord, that is so ugly. And then I say, yeah, you're right, but it's okay. I'll fix it in a second. Let's also put some pink here. Pink, 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 pink. 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 It's not a nice pink, but it's be okay too. Try and get this a little bit together. Don't really want to do black. Black doesn't really work as a shadow color. Okay, whatever. That's pink now. Okay, so it's really dark on the bottom. It's becoming really ugly, right? Now, what you can do, super simple, and that makes a difference between high quality art and low quality art. You have to add a little bit of reflected light to something. So, for example, if the light is coming, in this case, from here, oops, that means if the light hits the ground, it bounces back up. Now, since our crocodile is round, if we're looking at the front part, you have an eye and an eye, whatever. You have like his nose, whoop. Then he has like his jaws, right, like this. And this is like whatever his bottom jaw, doesn't really matter. That means if the light hits the ground here, then it bounces back up, right? So if you want stuff to look really nice, you gotta do this. You cannot have a full black area on the bottom. You gotta throw in a little bit of light here. That is gonna make it look super cool. Here. So by just adding a little bit of reflected light in the bottom, it's really gonna make it look super cool. See, it's already starting to look a little bit more interesting. Then if you blend that a little bit back, then you can make these really boring areas that would normally just peter out or like turn out into like really boring black dark areas. You can give those a little bit of light back. And then you get these beautiful reflected light places. That is really nice, you know, when you can see that. Now, painting is just, and drawing, painting is just a lot of back and forward. And like so many things are important. You want to also try and keep like using the directions of your paintbrush to go with the shape, because if you go with the shape, they're helping. If you go against the shape, they're not gonna help, right? This is not helping me. I want to go with. So you hold your angle of your brush, or you drag your strokes in the direction that makes the most sense, so you can read the volume best. And you know all those things because you understand what the 3D purpose is of them, right? So that really is key. Key to drawing and painting is keeping things working with your directions, right? And then of course you can go, if it's on the computer, you can do anything to it that you want. You can change the colors. You can say it's too dark, it's too light, or darker, lighter. Like endless possibilities, right? Want to do a little bit more black and white, want to do a little brighter color, fun stuff, right? So you can do anything that you want, really, right? Okay, so we are going to learn how to do some super basic three-dimensional drawing. That is our plan, right? And that is what we're going to do in the next video. I hope the sound has recorded. I would be over the moon. Then I'm going to start off doing 3D drawing with you in the next video. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.